According to Albert Einstein, we cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. My name is Corinna Stoffel, and I'm the host of Toward a New World. The world seems to be falling apart. Are you as frustrated as I am with the talk about how to fix things or what needs to change, yet nothing changes? In the episodes, I invite people to look from different perspectives, sometimes even contrary to the current points of view. My intention is to evoke a different level of consciousness by empowering listeners to explore what is true for them and begin to live their lives from that place, thus changing their lives and through it, the world. If this appeals to you, I ask you to subscribe to the podcast on this channel.
Hello and welcome. Here we are again. Let's talk about words and the power of words. Are you aware that we are speaking and thinking about 60 to 80,000 words per day? When I got that information, I was, holy macamole. That many words. And yeah, we're pretty busy. Even if we don't talk a lot, we're pretty busy in here. So, what are we telling ourselves with all those thoughts? Are we programming ourselves? In a way, I think yes, we are doing. Because what we're thinking about ourselves, for instance, impacts our emotions, our actions, our health. What we say can uplift or crush us or somebody else. It influences how we see our lives. And depending on how we see our lives, it also influences what we feel we can or cannot do. How limited or unlimited are we? How much ability do we have to perceive a different way of looking at something? To create a new box into which we put some thoughts? Also, the question is, are we willing to be aware of the energy that words have? Recently, when I was writing something, I initially chose the word to attempt. And somehow, as I was reading it back to me, the energy was off. That was not what I wanted to communicate. Attempting is trying, but it's not doing, actually. And so I stopped the writing and looked for a word that had the energy that I wanted to communicate. Definitions, what I found is definitions in the dictionary are not, from my perspective, necessarily accurate. They state how we use the word in common language. But are we always using the words correctly? Really intending what we plan to communicate? And energetically looking at it from that perspective, my sense is that we're pretty damn sloppy in our use. Like, for instance, recently, yeah, it was the other week, I listened to a masterclass on healing something. The presenter talked about what is broken in the body. And that just, broken means it does not contribute to healing if something is broken. So I said afterwards, that how would I have said that, described that? And what came for me is currently not functioning as intended. If an organ is not working as intended, then there are consequences in the body. The body is not functioning in the best possible way. But is the body broken? And considering that the body has the ability to heal itself, it's not broken in my viewpoint. So the words we use are important. We use words to create something, to create a vision, to communicate a vision. We create words to co-create with the universe. And if we do co-create with the universe, or even just ask the universe, we need to be clear in our communication. I'm taking right now a course with Greg Braden on the wisdom codes. Did I get it out? And he talks about what if our words were a declaration of what we desire, of who we are. The universe takes things very literally, not figuratively. If I say I don't want that, then the universe gives me more. I don't want that, whatever that is. It doesn't say, oh, she doesn't want that. What could I replace it with? No, she does not want that. Think about it. Let that sink in. It's a declaration of what we desire. And recently I had quite an aha effect listening to a podcast or something with Peter Crone, where he talked about declarations. And if we declare something, it is no longer affected by our emotions. And that sort of had me listen up. What? It's not no longer affected by our emotion? When we declare, we're stating we get to do something, not that we have to do something. And I realized how often have I declared something and then said, today I don't feel like, and didn't do it. And then the next day I did it, and the next day I didn't feel like, and I didn't feel like. And so it petered out. How familiar are we all with that kind of behavior? But we do it. And what if we honor our word in the way that I say what I mean, and I mean what I say? That means to be congruent within myself. And in a way, that changes the game if we really, really get that. And when I had that aha effect, I remember so vividly that the next day I didn't feel like doing that, what I had declared. And I sort of heard Peter Krohn in the back of my mind, and I said, uh-oh, here we go. I acknowledge that I don't feel like it. And I declared that I wanted something. And I need to do that in order to get to something. So I just realized, darn it, I said, I need to do, I get to do in order to get that something. That, I think, is the secret that he conveyed, that we move from I get to do that, I am allowed to do that, I am invited to do that, and not I have to do that, which creates the I don't feel like, I don't want to do it. So, how much can we change our life simply by paying attention to the words that we speak, to the words that are going on in here on an almost constant basis, often not even cognitively aware of them? How much can that change our life? The way we feel about things, the way we act, and our health, because we tell us a lot about how healthy we are. And indirectly, the emotions that we create affect our health. But let's do that as a subject for another episode. So take care until next week.